This year, because of the pandemic situation, the Hear Our Voices conference was different. Self advocates from all over Europe got together in their own countries and organized several events to talk about how it was for them to go through COVID-19 situation. But we also did a lot of other things during this year. Self advocates from our members were invited to talk at conferences and other events. We have organized conferences in our own countries. We have talked about employment, about inclusive empowerment, accessibility, and also about COVID-19. Inclusion Europe used social media to visibly to give us and visible to us and to what we are doing in our countries and in Europe. In Ireland, a self-advocate is now a communication and information manager in one of our members. In Spain, a self-advocate was elected as vice president in one of our members. Also in Ireland, self-advocates challenge the government on the way they decide to spend their money, and in Spain, a national platform of self-advocates was launched at a very high-profile event with more than 500 people attending. Laszlo, EPSA's chair, challenged the way people with disabilities are discriminated against when it comes to exercising the right to vote. In 2021, between October and November, our members made their voices heard. We had several events in 9 countries with more than 300 participants. We had events in Portugal, Romania, Ireland, Hungary, Czechia, Austria, Croatia, Moldova, and Spain. We also had our Spanish members talking at our directors meeting to share the creation of the national platform and how this is important to give voice to self-advocacy. Now let's share what self-advocacy want you to know. All over Europe, they got to talk about what is important to them. They have talked about how COVID affects their lives. They have things to say. They have things that they want you to hear. Strong, loud, and clear. During the pandemic, support was really important. Some things were good and others were not so good. The good thing is that we learned digital skills and now we are able to do that with less support. A lot of activities went viral. This means that people were not face to face, but we still had support. But other things were not so good. We could not do all the things that we were used to. All the activities, all the trainings, all the therapies, all this stopped, and this was bad. People that were living in a community had less support to do it. This was hard. Because of that, self-advocates felt sad, abandoned, mad, lonely, confused, depressed, and angry. During the lockdown, some people could not talk to their friends, families, and supporters because they did not have internet access or smartphones. The information was really hard to understand, and it was always changing. People that were working lost their jobs, and we could not go back to work. In some countries, we were left alone in institutions to die, and we were left all day by ourselves. And the only thing that we could do was just laying down or rock ourselves. We didn't go to the hospitals or to the doctor. This was really bad. A lot of us lost our personal assistant, but in some countries, service providers continued to support people. Like for instance, they took meals to the houses where people were locked down. Some had to return to our parents' homes. The ones that were living independently, we had to return because there was no support to us and we could live in the community. And we couldn't do the things that we used to do, like take a walk, have a drink with a friend, swimming, horse riding, cooking, having a coffee, or just a smoke outside. We felt that people were behaving strangely, like they were changing the sides of the street and they didn't talk to us. We missed the body contact because sometimes the supporters were in full suits and we couldn't really have this personal touch. So what do we want? We want information that we can understand. We want to maintain our job or get some money when we are not working. We want personal budgets, and we all want vaccines to all people. We want formal and informal support to everyday activities and access to good health care. And we want to continue to be busy, to have full lives, and to feel comfortable to go to shops and so on. We want better and more training in the different things that we need. We want to have more access to technology. We want public websites in easy to read and understand, but especially we don't want no more total lockdowns. We also want psychological support. We want rules that do not change every day, and we want good internet connection and free internet service. To sum it all up, what do we want? We want respect, we want equality, we want access, we want full citizenship, and we want it now. Thank you, and keep supporting South Advocates all over Europe.